Katie, I think I will share the presentation. I just have that up.
Yeah, great.
No, I think we'll kick off there now. So good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us this evening for our webinar on the different areas of the Herdwatch app. So we're going to go over the basics of our main features in Herdwatch, and we have a Q&A open there at the bottom where you can pop in your questions and we can be answering them throughout. And at the end, we'll come to a few questions then as well. So to introduce myself, Chris Good is my name. I'm the Customer Success Manager, and I'm joined this evening by Katie Rabbit, our Customer Success Team Lead. So this evening we'll be going through a few areas, there's a few facts about Herdwatch, and then we'll be going straight into a demo. So on the agenda this evening, we are going to go through just the Herdwatch background and getting started with Herdwatch, syncing your herd, and then we'll also be doing the department sync then as well. I'll be kind of walking you through a few steps as to how the app looks, and we'll be going through the remedy treatments and movements, and I'll do a bit on calf registration, breeding, and the dairy insights. And Katie, I think you'll be going through the rest there with the ICBF sync and a few other bits. Perfect. So just a few facts there on Herdwatch. So Herdwatch has over 21,000 users using the platform, and we have over 2.3 million cattle active on our platform as well. And we have over 3 million now at this stage calf registrations recorded to date on the system. We're not only a cattle software, we also are software of management for sheep. So we have over 1.7 million sheep managed on the app at present. And on our pastures by Herdwatch section of the app, we have over 750,000 acres mapped on the app as well. So Herdwatch was launched back in 2014, and now we're helping over 22,000 members with their herd performance and farm compliance. And in recent months, we transitioned into cattle, dairy, sheep, and pasture by Herdwatch. So on your home screen, depending on the farm type or the farm plan that you have, you might notice a few different differences on the features. But throughout the demo, we'll be going through a few of them as well this evening. So no questions in so far, Katie, is there?
No, not so far.
Okay, perfect. So look, what I'll do is I'll share my screen here on the app, and I'll be able to go through the start of the demo. Not in sharing there yet, is there?
Not yet, no.
Okay, 2 seconds now.
Yeah, that's sharing there now.
No, it's just the app that's coming up, is it?
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is your home screen on Herdwatch. So as I said there a few moments ago, it'll differ based on the plan type you're using. So for our cattle side, cattle and suckler, it'll be a green background, dairy it's blue, pastures is orange, and then the sheep is green, as far as I know, isn't it? This is your kind of your overview and your profile. So for a cattle farmer here, you'll see your total animals in herd, and then it's broke down into a few different sections. So under your compliance, it'll bring in, say, your medicines, your movements, and those sort of features. Breeding, this is your breeding management for your herd. Dairy performance kind of digs into milk accordance, weight performance, livestock purchase and sales. And your pastures is your mapping. And then we have a few other things under the management and buy and sell, so we can come to them as well. So I suppose initially when you get download Herdwatch or you sign up to one of our pro plans, one of the most important things to do is to get your herd synced. So this evening we're demoing off an Irish herd, but the sync your herd can differ between regions. So we sync with the ministries in Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and in the UK. So for Ireland, you're going to have to select Herdwatch as your software provider on AgFood. And once you select Herdwatch as your software provider, we will pull down all the information of all the animals that are currently in your herd. Similar enough in Northern Ireland, we just need to link with your NIFIS. And in Scotland is your Scotty ID login details that we need to sync it. And then in the UK, for BCMS is your CTS user ID and password. So once we do that initial integration, it's going to download all your animals into the app, and that allows you to kind of get going with recording your records against the animals itself. Depending on the region that you're in, we get a certain amount of information off different ministries on animals. So the basics of your animals information will always come down. So I'll just show you here on my herd. So this is a test account that we currently have. So on an animal's profile, you'll see here we're getting down the age, breed, gender. We're getting down, say, how many days in herd. Identification said I have date of birth, last TB test date, say in Ireland. So all this information comes down, and for different plans, especially say the dairy plan, from a milk performance purview, or we can get more information from the likes of ICBF, CIS, and NMR. So that's initially getting your herd downloaded onto Herdwatch. Now, if you want to sync in Ireland, if you want to sync your herd with the department, you can do, once you select Herdwatch as your software provider, your animal should update in the app in a matter of minutes. But at any stage, if you want to do a department sync, under My Herd, you can press the three dots in the top right-hand corner and sync with department. That'll ask you for your Herdwatch PIN. So if you're only after recently signing up to Herdwatch, you would have received a password to log into the app, and then you would have also received your Herdwatch PIN. So every user on Herdwatch has a PIN. It's just for security purposes for yourself, that if you're doing any communication with the ministry, whether it be on calf registration or movements, that you have to put in the PIN prior to doing that registration. Now, if you're registering a couple of calves at one time on a patch registration, once you put it through, if you go back a few minutes later to put in another registration, it won't ask you for the PIN. So it'll remember the PIN while you're using the app at that session. So if anyone doesn't have their Herdwatch PIN, just pop us a message through the app, and we'll be able to come back to you with your PIN, so you'll be able to use it there. So I suppose everyone, if you've recently signed up to Herdwatch, you would have the app downloaded now. So once you're logged in, what I'll start doing now is I'll start going through a few different features here. And I suppose initially, as I said there, your main 6 tiles here are your main areas to go if you want to check over information. But on everyone's home screen, you'll have the plus sign here in the bottom right-hand corner. So the plus sign will allow you to go and create any task that you need to create. So you have a few different options here. So on your phone, you can scroll down through the list, and you can select the task. You can search the task in the top in the search bar. Also, if you're looking for an animal quickly, you can also type in the animal's tag number, and it'll bring up the animal here. So say if I was looking for that 71956, once I type in its tag number here, it'll bring up the animal. Okay. So when you're creating a task, after you have a task created, if you want to go in and look at the overview of it, by clicking into the tile, it'll give you further details on those tasks. Okay, so under your compliance here, you have cast register, your remedies and treatments, your movements, your missing tag ordering, hoof care, body condition score, and weaning castration. You have all these different tasks. Dairy performance, you have your weights, milk recordings, bulk tank collections, and you also have the insight section, which we'll talk about there in a while. Your breeding is your heat detections, your serves, your scans, and say all your breeding records. And then your pastures and maps will bring you straight through to the pastures platform in the app. Buy and sell is a platform for advertising your animals on the system for sale. And then under management here, you can go for your reports, create your feed purchases, use our nitrates calculator, passport checker, all them different options here. So I suppose we'll kick off tonight with maybe creating a medicine treatment. I know it's important to a lot of people for quality assurance, board BIA, inspections. When you're coming to managing your medicines, using the app makes it very easy when an inspection comes around. So to create a medicine record, you have three quick options here on the home screen that you can go straight into remedy purchase, or else you can press the plus sign and select remedy purchase here. So on remedy purchase, it brings you into a full list of medicines that are available on the market according to the HPRA. So you have a few different options. On your phone, you can use the scan function here and scan the barcode, and it'll bring up the purchase. If not, if the barcode's unavailable to ourselves, if you scan it, you can also search it in the list, or you can scroll down through the list here. So we'll just go with this Alvex. Now, if you've previously created the purchase on the system, it'll prompt you here if you want to use the previous withdrawals, the treatment reason, dose rate. And if you want it, you can just press yes. But for this, we'll just go no, and we'll start with a blank treatment. So the purchase date will always default to the current date. So in the event that you're backdating treatment, say a few days, you can always select in to your date option and move it back to whenever you purchase the treatment. So we'll say we bought the treatment today. Unit of measure gives you all your different types of unit of measure. So we'll select milligrams. Quantity purchased, we'll just say 100 ml for the demo. And then your supplied by gives you a full list of suppliers. So if your supplier is not on the list, you can always create them on the fly by pressing the plus sign, selecting your type, and then filling in your details here. So we'll just say here it was bought in pay with co-op. So it prompts you here with an option where you can put in dose per animal per day. You can leave this if you want until you go to your treatment, or else you can put it in a point of purchase. But any of the headings that have an orange title, they're a required field to complete the task. Moving down through the task creation, it'll ask you for the withdrawals. If the input withdrawal option is here, by selecting that, it'll input the withdrawals of that treatment based on the HPRA. Bear in mind, sometimes your vet might be giving you a longer withdrawal on it, so just always check it with what the vet's giving you or what's on the packaging. Your prescribing vet, you can select your prescribing vet here. Your batch number, so we allow you to type in your batch number and select your expiry date. But also, if on the packaging there's a QR code, you can scan the QR code and that'll pull in the batch number and enter it in here for you. So we'll just put in a batch number and we'll select an expiry date. So normally your expiry date is going to be future dated. So we'll just move towards 2026 and we'll select the date. You have a few more optional fields here. You can put in the cost, who bought it, you can upload an image, or you can put in any notes. When you're happy with the purchase, you can press save, and that's your remedy purchase created. On your home page, if you'd previously entered in the medicine purchase, you can press the cattle treatment option and it'll prompt you to your medicine cabinet. Or else if you're in the remedy purchase, you can just go plus and use this remedy. Now, if I go back to the home screen, I'll just go from the cattle treatment option. So by cattle treatment option, it'll give you two different options here. So you can do medicines from your remedy cabinet, or you can do treatment only. So if you select from remedy cabinet, it'll give you any of the medicines that are currently available on your farm, in your cabinet on the system. So here by selecting Albex, now if it's a case you're doing multiple treatments at the one time, you can also select the multiple treatments here, and you can do the two treatments to the same animals if that's what you're doing at the time. So for the demo, we'll just select one, press next, and it'll ask us for our date of treatment. Now, if your purchase date is down as today, you can't backdate it. So if you bought the treatment 2 weeks ago, make sure that you backdate the purchase date. So it'll ask you for the course of the treatment, if you're given for over a couple of days, who administered it. So we'll just say Basil. You can set the operator then as your main operator if this is who's doing all the dosing on the farm or all vaccinations. No thanks. Dose per animal per day. So for certain amount of medicines, we'll be able to give you a rough guideline as to a dosage rate. So we'll say here that we're giving 15 now. Treatment reason, we give you a full list of treatment reasons that you can select, and it'll come up in your report for you. Your withdrawals would have come across from your purchase. Your batch numbers come across, and you have a few different options. So if you're doing a dry off treatment, you would have select your dry off. Your treatment reason is dry off, and say here if you're doing a mastitis treatment, you can select the affected quarters, or if you're doing any other treatments here, you can select the different options there. You can also put in notes on this section. So by pressing next, it brings you through to your animal selection. So here gives you a full list of all the animals in the herd. So you have a few different options here. You can scroll down through the list and select the animal. You can search the animal's tag number on top. You can filter the list to find the animal quickly. As well as that, if you have an EID reader, we connect with a lot of the market leading EID readers. You can connect your EID reader to the app. Katie will talk a little bit more about that in a while. And you can scan the tag number with the EID reader. And the other option there as well is under group. So if you're doing a bunch of cattle and you have the group created on the system, you can select into the group, click on the group and select all. And that'll apply the treatment to every one of those animals individually. The other option is under lists. These are pre-populated lists by Herdwatch, so they make it easier for finding animals quickly. So if you're looking for an animal that's between 12 to 18 months, you click into the list and find it here. If you're doing a treatment to an animal that's left the herd in the last couple of days or last couple of months and you're backdating the treatment to it, you can always go into your moved out list here and backdate the treatment against the animal. But you'll have all these different lists here available to you on your selection or animal selection. So we'll just select an animal here and we'll press save. So that's the treatment created. So you can see here in our treatment records, that's the treatment recorded. So all your treatments over time, you'll build up here in your treatment, and then your cabinet will also build up. Now, as according to you're using the medicine, the amount in your cabinet is always decreasing. So once the medicine's used up, it won't show in the cabinet, but you can always click back and include empty medicines if you're looking for a medicine quickly. Off the basis of doing your treatment to the animal, we will also calculate the withdrawals. So you'll be able to see currently how many animals are in withdrawal in your herd, whether it be milk or meat withdrawal. And if in the event of an inspection coming up or a board via audit, you can quickly go into your summary overview and you can check back on any medicines. So we'll put a little flag beside the medicine here if you're missing some of the information against that record. So that's on medicines. I'll shoot into calf registration there. So for calf registration, you have the quick action here on your home screen, or else you can go +sign calf. So for calf registration, you can just press calf, male or female. And it brings you into the creation here of the animal. So in Ireland, we have in Ireland, Northern and Scotland, we have the available tags to your herd on the system. So by pressing select next tag, it'll give you a full list of any available tags. Or else you can scan the tag with the barcode scanner on your phone, or else you can manually enter the tag number here. So it's like the medicine treatment there, any of the required fields have an orange heading. So you can select the date here, date of birth. Any calving difficulties, if it's normal calving, you can upload an image of the calf you want. Your dam selection then is next. So by selecting dam, it'll give you a full list of any dams that are currently in the herd. Now this is a demo herd, so don't mind any of the days here. So once we select the dam, if there's any breeding events against that cow in the system, the most recent breeding event will come up as a sire. But you can also go in and adjust the sire here at this point. So if it's an AI bull or stock bull that you're using, by pressing this, it will give you any of your active sires in herd. So if it's your stock bull, you can just select them here and the sire breed will be populated. If it's an AI code and you don't have it in the system, you can add the sire here on the fly by creating an AI bull. Or if it's a sire that you previously used, it could be under legacy sires here, which you can find them quickly there. So we'll just say it was a stock bull for the demo. You have options here, put in the calf size and vigor. For pedigree calves, you can also put in the calf's pedigree name. If you're doing embryo transfer, you have also have the option of genetic dam and a genetic dam breed. And then your calf weight can also be put in. So once you're happy with the details of the calf, you can press save. So it'll prompt you here with any actions. So if you're forgetting something, after forgetting to do something on the registration, it'll prompt you here with one of the actions. So you can see here, I didn't enter a tag number. And you can see as well that the dam to this calf already had a calf within 290 days. So it'll prompt you with these actions before it goes through for registration. Now you can continue and go back and edit it at a later stage. It'll ask you if you want to create another calf. I'll say no, I'm finished. You can edit the calf at any stage by pressing 3 dots and edit. Once you register the calf, it's gone through to the department then. So when it comes to registering calves, you can register them individually, or you can also do them in a batch. So to do a batch registration, you can just go plus, calves register, batch registration, and you'll select the calves that you want to register. And once you select them, you just press send, and it'll ask you for your Herdwatch PIN, and then that will send the registration through to the department, and we'll get a response then back from the department as to the success of the registration, and that'll show up in the app for you then. So that's on calf registration. Now also under compliance and calves register, you'll also find this list. So it's under your compliance. Your animal movements. So for the demo, I'll do an Irish movement here. And if anyone's based in the UK, Northern Ireland or Scotland and wants to go through movements, just pop us a message there on the Q&A and we'll come back to you on that. So for animal movements in Ireland, if you go plus, if I'm doing a movement out, I'll select movement out. Put in your movement out date, you put in the buyer's herd number, or else if it's a buyer that you previously sold to, he could be in the list. So we'll just put in a herd number here. You can put in the sale price of the animal, any notes that you want. press next, select the animal and save. So once you press apply for cert, it'll ask you for your Herdwatch pin, and then that'll send the movement through to the department, and the department will respond to you with your cert number. So your cert number will show up in the Herdwatch app here, and it'll allow you then to text the cert number to the buyer. So once the movement is in process, the department will automatically email you the cert as well. So in the event that the buyer doesn't have a software provider and is using the old traditional way, you can print out the cert, sign it, and post it, and that'll process the movement to the new buyer for you. In the event that you're buying an animal off another farmer and you want to do the movement in, you can press plus sign, movement in, and you enter your cert number here. By entering the cert number, press next, it'll ask you for your Herdwatch pin again, and it'll communicate with the department and bring in the animals that are on that cert and allow you to accept them into your herd. So if you're buying cattle from a farmer who's able to process the movement there and then, you can have the animal moved into your herd in a matter of minutes. So that's on movements. So the other thing then as well is the breeding section. So as I mentioned there a couple of minutes ago on the breeding site, if you're using Herdwatch for your breeding records, it'll all link in with your calf registration. So when it comes to doing a calf registration, the most recent serve against the dam will come up as a sire. Now, Herdwatch also links in with ICBF, so Katie will touch a bit more on that in a few minutes. But once we link in with ICBF, if your serves are coming in from ICBF into Herdwatch, or sorry, if your AI technician is uploading the serves to ICBF, they'll automatically come into Herdwatch then. So under breeding, you have all your different headings. And under your serve list, you'll be able to see how many cows have been served in the herd and all serves. Now, if you're doing DIY AI or you're creating the serves yourself and you want them to go to ICBF, once we're connected, we can send them across. But to create a serve, you'll just go plus, serve. You'll put in the date of serve, select the sire, so you can select the AI bull, and then you can put in whether it's sex semen, you can do it, put in if it's an embryo transfer, AI supplier, performed by, all these different options, and then you can press next, select your cow and save. The other option here as well is if you're running a bull, you can also select your stock bull. The date of serve will be the date the bull enters the field, and it'll also ask you for the, sorry, no, that's not any bull, stock bull. Once you select running with bull, it'll also ask you for the date the bull leaves. So by putting in the day that the bull leaves, it'll save that record against the cow, and it will prompt that as a serve against the cow as well. So when you press next, it brings you through to your animal selection. You can just press on the animal and select save. So that'll create the serve record. So in your breeding section then, your other options then are to do a scan result, heat detection as well that you can record. What I'll do is I'll run through a scan result as an option here as well. So if you go plus pregnancy scan, then your date of scanning. So say we did scanning last Saturday. Select next and gives you a full list of all your breeding animals in herd. So what you're going to do then is you're going to select on a cow. You can enter the number of days in calf. So if we can say it was 20 days in calf. The scanner tells you it's having twins, or if it's not in calf, you can select that there as well. A few different optional fields you can put in. You press next, allow you to go to the next cow, put a number of days there in calf, next, and you can go through your list. Once you're happy, you press save, and that's your scanning record saved against the animals. So you can see here under some of the animals. So what I'll do is I'll go back home, breeding, and I'll go into our serves list. Under all serves, so this cow here that was served, you can see here that it was served this bull. On the animal's profile, in the animal's history, they'll see the serve against it. So any records that you're recording on the system, whether it be a medicine, a movement, a breeding record, all them records will go against the animal's history here in the system. So over time, you're building up all these records against your animals. Aside from the breeding side, I suppose I'll touch a bit on the dairy insight. So for any of you that are dairy farmers out there, by connecting in ICBF, we're also able to pull in your milk recordings. So under dairy performance and milk recordings, we have two different options. So you can look at your recordings on a herd average or a per cow basis. So herd average will give you a kind of total summary as to how that recording went, and you can filter it back based on previous recordings as well. So you can change your milk recording date here. But by going into per cow basis, it gives you more detailed information on every animal's milk recording, and you can scroll over through the list. You can filter highest to lowest. So if you're looking to see what your highest SEC cows is, you're able to filter here on top and you'll be able to find them quickly. That's where you'll find your milk recordings. Now, off the back of your milk accordance and with your whole breeding cycle, when it comes to dry off management, you can record your dry off treatments through Herdwatch. So if it's a tube and seeder, you can do it as a medicine treatment there, like we did previously. But also what we have in Herdwatch is we have selective dry cow therapy. So by putting in selective dry cow therapy, you're allowed to edit the breeding settings and put in your threshold for your farm. So based off your previous milk accordance, I think it's 3 or 4 milk accordance, we'll be able to tell you the number of animals that are suitable for selective dry cow therapy, or be able to, advise what animals are suitable for selective dry cow therapy in your herd. And we'll also be able to track, say, how many animals have been dried or not dried yet. So it's a nice handy area in Herdwatch when it comes to drying off your cows. So that's kind of most of it on the breeding calf registration. Looking cautious there on time. Probably running a little bit over now myself. So what I'll do, Katie, is I'll hand over to yourself and you can run through the few bits there, and then we can go to the Q&A. And if anyone has any questions, we can run through a few bits on that demo. No, Katie, can't hear you there at the moment.
How about now?
Yep, I can hear you there now.
Okay, perfect. No bother. I'll just share my screen. Now, can you see the app there?
2 seconds now, so I can click into the Q&A. Yeah, see the app there now.
Perfect, no bother. Yeah, so just Chris mentioned there just about connecting your ICBF. So this is for any of our IE users that are on the webinar here. So pop into the 3 lines up in the top left corner of your home screen and you'll see an option for settings. And when you scroll down in settings, you'll have this button here, sync with ICBF. So if you click that, it'll just look for you to pop in your ICBF username and password. You can request a free account if you don't have an account with them already. And just pop in your details. And within the first 24 hours, you'll see a lot of your information will start sinking down. So what you'll get is, as Chris mentioned, your serves, scans, milk recording records, any weight recordings that are in there as well, management tags, freeze brands, and pedigree names and past progeny. So you'll see that all start to come down into the app over the kind of the first 24 hours. After that, then it is a nightly sync. So if you were to weight record today, you would see it would land with ICBF tomorrow. So just for anyone that maybe is in the upcoming SCEP scheme, it's just something to be mindful of just when you're coming up to the deadline, but it'll go over to them the next day. Likewise, if you're to put information on ICBF, it'll come down to us the next day as well. So it is a handy link to have there for certain sections of the app. So I'm just going to show you quickly the weight recording section of the app. So if you hit your orange plus button and you scroll down, you'll find weight recording. So we have 2 options here. So the first one I'll show you is quick weighing. So this is just very general. Just pop in the date of the weighing. You can pop in a description, who it was performed by, and you just hit next and you're out to your list of animals. So you can very simply just type in the weights of your animals. And then once you're happy with that, you just hit save. Now, you can also, as Chris showed you in the remedies, very similar flow. If you have groups that are already created, you can pop into your groups and weigh them from here. So if you are in the SCEP scheme, probably be no harm to have a group, maybe if your dams and their calves, just if you're weighing them all the time together. And again, you can do it from smart lists as well. There was a question earlier in the Q&A, and I told you I would answer, Crawford. So just if you are backdating any weights of animals that maybe NIFAS had moved out for you, just pop down to your smart lists and go to the moved out list. I probably have it up at the top there. Let me just have a look. There it is. So just pop into your moved out list and you can do the exact same thing if you want to backdate them, and you can move the date back at the start as well. So that's just a very simple, just if you're recording them manually. We do have a new feature that's come in the last year called multitask weighing. So On your mobile, if you click into your multitask way, and again, you can pop in your date, and this is where you can connect your EID reader or your wayhead. So very simple. Now, look, I'm on the PC version at the moment, so it mightn't be the best way to show you, but if you just click in to connect your EID reader, what happens is a box will come up on the bottom and you'll see any devices that can connect will pop up in this box. So you'll see if it's your AWR 250 or whatever you're using. Once it's turned on, that'll be available to connect. And the very same at your wayhead, once that's turned on and ready for a session, that'll pop up for connection as well. So we do have loads of articles online for every type of wayhead and reader that we connect with, and all the different settings maybe that they might need depending on the phone you're using or what they are. And we actually only just did a webinar on it last night as well. So if anybody wants a recording of that, pop us a message or even pop it into the Q&A and we can send it on to you as well. So once you have those connected, when you hit next, you'll be met with this screen. So if you have your wayhead and your reader connected, you can scan the tag of the animal. It'll populate the select your animal here. If you're not using a reader and you're only using a wayhead, you can just select it from the list as well, which is no issue. And then once they stand up on scales, the weight will automatically populate in here and it'll hold, and then you can just hit next, or you can scan your next animal and you can just keep going until the session is finished. Likewise, if you're only using a reader and not using a wayhead, you can scan your tag number and you can actually type the weight in here as well, and you can scan your next tag also. So you see it comes up there, weight added, so you're safe enough to go ahead with your next one. If anybody is using that for the first time, or maybe you've just bought a reader or wayhead, you're more than welcome to contact us and we can talk you through connecting those for the first time and doing that first session, just if you're having trouble. But it is quite easy to use once if you've done it for the first time. So just still in the weight section, I'll just bring you back out into performance and into weights. We have a section here called Weights Insights. So in here, basically all the information that you've been recording, be it by a quick weigh-in or with the multitask weigh-in, we can compile it into kind of more insights that you can draw out of the app here. So you can filter it down by the date of the weighing. So if you want to even go to past dates, they should be all in here. So you can just change them around. We've other filters then as well if you even wanted to do it by group, if you wanted to just have a look at the weight insights for a particular group, age in months, gender, you can filter it all down. And in here, then you can see how many animals were weighed for the male or female. These are all interactive, so you can look at your top 25%, bottom 25, only two in this recording, so I'd say they're just sitting bang in the middle. And then you'll have your max weight recorded, average ADG. So there's lots of insights to be gained from that. So the more you're putting in, the more you'll get out of it anyway. So it's definitely worth looking at if you are doing quite a bit of weight recording. And we also have the breeding weight target section as well. So if you're on the complete plan, you'll have access to this module. So it can just give you any predicted weights basically. So it'll give you maybe today's predicted weight. I think at 15 months as well, it'll give you those predicted ones and just basically let you know are you on or off target. So just if you have the complete plan, you'll have access to that module. So you're more than welcome to use that or give us a call on it if you need help maybe understanding it or going through it. So that's pretty much on the weight section and insights. I'm also going to take you through the pasture app and the sheep app tonight as well, just to give you a quick overview if you haven't looked at it yet. So if you're swapping into those apps on your home screen, down in the bottom left corner, you'll see this apps button. So you click on that and you can pop into sheep or pasture. So I'm going to do pasture first. So in pasture, I would say the best recommendation I could give anyone just starting out is to map your farm would be the first thing I do, because once the farm is mapped, you can actually go ahead and use the rest of the tasks. So to map your farm is very simple. You just hit your orange plus button and then go to create field. So this is going to drop me where we have fields mapped already. Once you have fields in there, it'll always drop you to home, basically. But if not, you can pop in an air code, you can pop in a Townsland, should pick it up and it gets you as close as possible. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, sometimes even follow the roads if you need to get around. So just I'll zoom into a relatively simple one there. So I'll take this square one. So all you do is literally click on the four corners of the field. So literally 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's your field mapped. Now, look, no field is going to be that straightforward. So if you do need to maybe get in around ditches or zoom in a bit, you can always drag out these points as well, if you want to just make it a little bit more accurate if you're one side of the ditch or the other. So once you're kind of happy with the outline of the field that you have, you just hit next, and then you just pop in a name. And then you can, if you need to fix the acreage, we will give you a rough calculation just based on what you've mapped on the system previously. But you can fix the acreage there as well if you want. You can add in your PBI code. So we do link with Pasture Base Ireland. Just for anyone that maybe is in derogation or is doing any grass measuring, you can pop in your PBI code, and essentially any grass measuring you're doing, we can send across to them as well. And then look, there's loads of other bits you can fill in: crop purpose, field number, your LPIS number. There's loads you can pop in, but once you have it named and have the acreage in, that's good enough to just hit save then. So it's very simple. Ask you, do you want to create another one? You can just hit yes or no if you want to keep going. So it's one of those things, might be a little bit time consuming to do, but you only have to do it once. And then once you have it done, there's loads you can actually do in the app then as well. So there's lots of features available. In the Orange Plus button, you'll see loads. There's fertilizer application, grass measuring, drilling, harvesting. We've a number of reports then as well that you can actually get out of this section. So just pop into management reports, and we've a number of reports there available as well that you can go through. So you can email them on to yourselves then if you need them. If maybe you want to get started on recording things, but you just haven't got the evening to sit down, maybe you haven't got the half hour to sit down and map the farm, you can create a field without putting the map on it, just if you want to be putting records to it. So very simply, just Orange Plus, create field. When you get to this section, when you're at the map, don't bother mapping it out, just hit next, and you can just pop a name and acres on the field. So if I just pop in field 1, I'll just pop in 20 acres and then just hit save. So lastly, do you want to create another field? No. You can always come back then and just add a map to that field afterwards. So you can always just come back, it'll open up the map and bring you back into that mapping function. But it just means then if you do want to maybe record a fertilizer application, or maybe you're doing silage recently and you want to maybe pop a note on how many bales you got out of that field or how many ton, you just have the field record there that you can add it in, and you can always put the map on afterwards. And they're found in this section here. So you just pop into field records there. So you'll have all your different records that you've been popping in. So that's kind of just an overview on the pasture side. Again, we actually did a detailed webinar on pasture, that all the features that are in it. So again, if anybody wants that sent on to them, definitely let us know. It's much more detailed maybe than what I've shown, just at the basics is getting set up with it there. But especially around this time of year, it might be of interest to people. And just if anybody maybe doesn't have access to this, pasture is included on the complete plan at the moment. So just if you're wondering, maybe you haven't got access, if it's something you're interested in, get in contact as well, and we can look at maybe getting that set up for you. So again, then just if there are any sheep customers on the webinar here tonight, again, just go to your app section and pop into sheep. So a lot of the features and flows in sheep by Herdwatch is quite similar to the cattle that you've just seen. The difference with the sheep side of the app, and this is across all regions as well, for IE, UK, Northern Ireland, we're not linked to any ministries. So this is purely management side, and you'll have to add the sheep in yourself. Now, there's loads and loads of options for getting set up with the sheep, and it's just a matter of what's going to suit you and maybe what equipment you have on the farm as well. So the first thing that you can do is hit your Orange Plus, and you can go to add sheep, and you can add a sheep individually. So no need for an EID reader, no need to upload a file. You can just create the sheep. So just select animal type, born on flock, or maybe you've bought it in, and you can just pop in the purpose. So if it's a lamb, breeding ewe, ram, the gender of the animal, the tag number, management tag, pop in a date of birth, or you can put in a rough age as well. Maybe you probably have a couple of older ewes that you're not sure the date of birth, and that's fine. Breed, dam sire, there's loads of information you can pop in here. So again, like we stressed earlier, anything in orange with an asterisk beside it is what's required. Everything after that is optional and can now always be added at a later time as well. So you can just create them manually, one by one. You can add sheep in batch. So On the mobile version, again, you see this Bluetooth symbol up in the top right corner. Once your EID reader is turned on and all the settings are correct, it'll come up available for you to connect, and you can just start scanning your sheep in. So when you're out in the yard or out in the field, you can just start scanning them in. It'll pick up their EID tags, and then you can just, when you hit save, it'll just ask you for a few basic levels of detail. So it could be just the date, birth, breed, and gender. So recommendation there would be if you were maybe scanning on your lambs in at the one time, they'll probably have similar details, or maybe you're scanning all your ewes in at the one time, will probably also have roughly similar details as well. So it just depends on the way you have it grouped, but it's totally whatever suits you and your setup on the farm. So in maybe certain cases that you have an EID reader already and you've already scanned all your animals and you have the file already available, you can just upload those scanned animals from the reader as well. So you'll be going with the third option here, upload animals from EID tag reader. And then once the reader is connected, any sessions that you've been recording on your reader will come up available here. So maybe you'd already scanned all the flock after lambing, maybe you have them all scanned again fresh for the year just to have your flock register. That file should pop up and you can just import all the tag numbers. And again, it'll just ask for a few basic details to pop in against the animals, and you can hit save, and that's your flock populated. Another option, just if maybe you don't want to opt for any of those, you can send us an Excel file of the tag number, breed, gender, date of birth. That's enough for us. You can send us over that file to support@herdwatch.com. We'll happily upload that for you as well. So you can send it over to that email, or even just down in the help center here. You can just pop in the file and just say, "Hi, can you please upload these sheep for me?" And we'll do that for you as well. Absolutely no problem. Um, so maybe just with sheep, I suppose grouping sheep might be an important thing that you'd like to do maybe when you're getting set up. So again, hit your orange plus and you'll see an option here for create group. So a couple of options here again. So create group with animals. So I would opt for this if once you have tag numbers in your flock already. So just pop a title on it and hit next, and you'll be brought out to your list of tag numbers, and you can either manually select them, or at this point, if you have your EID reader connected, you can scan your animals to select them as well. It'll pick up the ear tags and it'll hit save. And maybe if there is an ear tag that you hadn't scanned in previously, we'll pick up that tag as well, and we'll give you an option to save that animal in as a new animal. So just if you didn't have it created beforehand, it's no big deal. You can add it in on the fly here as well. Um, we also have an option called a general group. It's this middle option here. So um, maybe there are people on this call that have sheep that you're not putting the tag numbers in straight away, which is an option for people as well. So you can create general groups where you can just pop a title in. So if it was maybe yours bought on the 1st of the 1st, 2025, let's say, pop in just the number of sheep and groups. So if you bought 40, and then select the sheep purpose, buying breeding you, or maybe you're buying in store lambs or something like that might be going on during the summer that you might be fattening then for the winter time. Again, we can pop in just a few basic details in a description and hit save. And what that does is it's now created a group for you where it's just a number. You can keep updating that number. There's no tag numbers attached to it. But if you were doing medicines, you could always link it to that general group. If you're doing any movements or anything like that, you can link it to that general group. And just if you don't, if it's basically more of an option for people that aren't using tag numbers but are using the sheep side of Herdwatch. And then lastly, then very similar to uploading your sheep to your flock, you can also upload sheep directly into a group from your EID reader the very same way as I explained there previously as well. A lot of the features in here, let's say the likes of weight recording, medicines and treatments, all very similar to what you've seen on cattle. Do have a few extra features in here then as well for anyone that's using it. So hit your orange plus, you'll see the likes of lambing records. So very quickly just select your dam. You see you'll have the dam tag, the date of the lambing. You can pop in the number of lambs. So Let's just say you can pop in 2. You can add the lamb's details. So if you do want to add in the tag numbers or even just a lambing number, you can do that at this time. If you don't want to add them in and just record that ewe is lambed, you just pop in no, and it'll just record a lambing record for that ewe. There's no tag numbers or anything created. It's just to keep track of it. And again, you can pop in sire breed. If anyone's doing embryo transfer, or if you want to put in lambing difficulty, you have all that as well. So just to show you what it looks like if you are adding lamb details, just hit yes and then hit next, and it'll bring you out to, so we're on lamb one's record. So pop in the gender, the birth status, tag number, management tag or visual ID. You'll always have the lambing number. So just if you're not tagging them at birth, that's absolutely no problem. You can leave these 2 sections blank if you've no management tag or EID tag for them yet, and you can leave it as the lambing number. And you can always, after you've saved the record, you can always go back and you can scan the tag in, you can type it in manually, but there's always the option to go back and update those records afterwards. Once you're finished with lamb 1, you just you just hit next and click on to lamb 2, and you can fill out all those details then as well. And then what that will look like is, if I just go back out and just get a dam. Now, there may not be progeny on it, but you'll have this progeny tab here that you can actually go in and see all the lambs that are attached to it then as well. So that's just your lambing records. The movements will be slightly different on the sheep side of Herdwatch as well. So again, hit your orange plus and movement on. So you can go new animals, or if you're moving animals, maybe that they've just gone off to graze into a different herd or hold and they're coming back. So we'll just go with new animals for the purpose of the demo. So if you're moving them on, so you can link 2 animals or you can create a general note. So very similar to the group situation here as well. So if you're linking 2 animals, just pop in your movement date. You can pop in where they've come to or from, pop in any notes or prices, hit next. And again, you can either create animals manually, just on your phone or your laptop. You can scan them in at this stage, or you can upload them from the reader. So you have all those options for moving those animals on. Again, if it's a general note, all you do is just pop in the number of animals that moved on and a description of those animals. So whichever record you create there, you will be able to get that information out on a report as well. So it's just whatever suits your setup and what way you want to manage it. Same with the movements off then as well. I'll just pop into it here now. Sheep movement out. Very same. You can link it to animals, or you can do a general note, and you can pop in a reason for the movement. So if it was sold, went to the abattoir, maybe it died on farm. So if you want to just do a general note that maybe you sent 12 lambs to the factory, to the abattoir that day, you just pop in number of animals and a description. Or if you're linking it to animals, just hit next and just select all the animals that went, and then hit save, and that'll pop them into your moved out list for you. So a little bit similar to the cattle, but maybe just a few different ways of doing it, just if you're not using tag numbers as well. You have loads of reports as well on the sheep side. So if you just pop into even all compliance reports, we'll give you most of them. So you have all your remedy usage and remedy purchases report. If you're a sheep and a cattle user, once it's all under the same kind of herd/flock number or holding number, that will be a combined report as well under that herd or holding number. You have a withdrawals, flock register, so that just give you all the animals that are in your flock, re-tagging, identification. So there's loads of kind of sheep reports in there, as well. Connecting the EID reader for the first time for anyone that has one, or maybe is just after buying one, maybe alongside of getting Herdwatch, definitely just give us a call. We're quite happy to talk you through that first time connecting the reader, making sure that it goes okay with scanning them in. Quite happy to do that for you, just to make sure it all goes well, and just get that initial setup done, because once the sheep are in there, you'll get the use out of the app. So definitely just keep in contact. And I know I've mentioned it a couple of times across the demo, but we have lots of in-depth webinars that we're after doing over the last couple of months. So we've had breeding, we've had pasture, wayheads and readers was last night. We've done Martlink and livestock sales and purchases. We've a lot of that done already in quite good detail. So if anybody wants a recording of those, they are available on YouTube, and we're happy to send you the link directly there as well. And one thing just before I stop sharing that I'll make you aware of is the help center down in the bottom right hand corner. So click on the help center, you have access to just click on the home button. You can always search for help. So you always have access to any articles. So let's say if it was for, calf registration, you just start typing it in and you'll get all these different articles, and then also on the different regions as well. So I know there was a query just on UK movements earlier, just if they were going to the market or the abattoir. We have them all done out into different regions as well, just specific to you, so that you know what you're doing. So you can use that to go through articles, and then you can always just pop us a message. So just hit send us a message and work away, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. We've a good team there that are keeping an eye on it all the time. So definitely just make sure to give us a shout there. I might hand back over to Chris. I'm also
Want
conscious of
to
time.
Do you want to stay sharing there, Katie? And I'll just run through a few questions that are coming through.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no bother.
Perfect. So, message just came in from Olive there. Just does all this information have to be uploaded on mobile, or sorry, does all this information have to be uploaded on mobile? I have a laptop as well. So, Olive, Herdwatch can be used on multiple different devices. So, your mobile phone, tablets, your computer. So, this is our desktop, or this is our mobile version. It can also be used like this on our computer. But I don't know if you want to just make the screen a bit bigger there, Katie, and we can also show the new version.
Yeah. Let me just see now. Haven't got it on the plow
Oh,
and demo actually, Chris.
oh, you could be on the app version there. What I'll do is I'll share my screen there in a few moments. Olive, and I'll show you the desktop version. It's just a different version that Kate is currently using, but it can be used on multiple devices, and it can be used on your computer. So that's that question. A message come in from Alan there, just in regards to EID readers and scanning. Sorry, another question. If you wanted to use an EID reader to scan cattle that are being sold to the factory, how do I send that onto the phone app to assist with picking out passports?
Okay, so the first thing you need to do there, Alan, is make sure that your EIDs are assigned to your animals. Now, this is something we can do for you. If you're based in Ireland, Alan, your EID numbers will be the same as your tag number anyway, with the 327. So if you wanted, we could pull a list of all those tag numbers and pop it into the EID field. So I just hit edit on that. This is what you'll be looking to populate. So once that's populated on the animal, that's what will pick up the animal when you scan it. I actually think even with for IE users, it will just pick it up by the tag number as well, even if this isn't populated, because it's the exact same tag. For any UK, Northern Ireland or Scottish users, I understand that the EID, or maybe the management number, I suppose is what it's called over there, is actually completely different to the tag number. So if you have a list of a bucket file of your UK cattle tag numbers and your corresponding EID numbers, send them across to us. We can do a bulk upload there for you, just to take the sting out of adding them in individually. So we'd be quite happy to add them in. But if you are adding them, you could actually just scan them into this section rather than typing them as well. But yeah, Alan, once you have those linked, it should pick up that tag number. And when you're in any section of, let's say, if you are doing a movement off, so I'll just go movement out, move date. I'll just pop in anything there and just hit next. When you're in this section, you'll see this screen across selecting animals for weights, medicines, movements, anywhere really you see this screen. Once you have the EID reader connected with this Bluetooth symbol, you're in a position there where you can just start scanning. And once you, let's say, see this 1, 2, 3 test, if you scan that ear tag, it'll select like that, and just keep going until you can see what ones are selected. You can always double check it down here as well if you want. So yeah, that should work. Again, if you want to give us a buzz in the morning, more than welcome if you are doing that anytime soon as well.
Perfect. Another question came in there from Liam there, Katie. It is, so when animals are going to the mart or factory, can I put this information into Herdwatch? So
Yeah,
it does mean, yeah, Katie, you fire ahead there.
yeah. Sorry, Chris. Yeah. So again, this might be a little bit region specific as well, just before I get into it. So, if you are in Scotland, Northern Ireland, or Ireland, uh, basically any movements to the factory or the marts will be processed by that third party. So they will notify your respective ministry, and you will see those animals automatically either move on or move off of your herd. If you want to then go and add any information for any of those movements that are being automatically created, where you'd find them is go to performance, go to livestock sales and purchases, and let's just say you're after selling. So, oh, we mightn't actually have any records here to show
Demo
now.
account. Yeah, no, demo account.
Yeah. So what you would see basically is you'd see the date, however many animals were sold. If you click in, you can see the location that they're gone to as well. You will have a big, obvious blue button. You won't miss it that says update sale details. And in here, you can either update sales and sale prices and weights manually, or you can actually upload a picture of your factory docket as well, which will pop on any kilo weights, percentages, price per kilo, will upload all that. Um, you can also do that then on the purchases side as well with the marts. Um, Also, just staying on the marts there for a second, you have Mart Link. So if anyone is buying and selling in the marts, quite often you can actually link your mart to the app. So what'll happen is just pop into connect your marts and you can select them out of the list. This is available across all regions at the moment as well. If your mart is not here, let us know. We are trying to get all of them on at the moment, but we have almost all of them now. Um, so you can just select your mart, and what will happen is they will send over any of your sale or purchase dockets to us, and we will upload them automatically. Just to show quickly without bouncing around the app too much here into management, and you'll have this email inbox. And that's essentially where you'll see all of those mart or even factory emails will come in there as well. So that's just another option. If you're in the UK, I know it is slightly different that you will have to notify every movement to BCMS, be it to the auctions, to the abattoirs, anywhere, you have to notify those. So if that is the case, I haven't got the UK version here at the moment, but you will have an option to actually select the type of movement. So that's something that the IE version wouldn't have. So you can pop in if it was a death on farm, if it was gone to the market or gone to auction, and you can record it that way. And then you can also, very similar to this with the livestock sales and purchases, you can add in all that level of detail then afterwards as well. So that would be the only slight difference maybe with the UK.
The other thing there, just to note, Katie showed the email box or the email inbox. So as well as that, with the Martin Factory link, or sorry, the Mart link, once you set up your Mart link, the information will flow into the inbox. But you also have the option there. So you can see there at the top, there's a herd number at herdwatch.email. So whether your herd's Irish, UK, Scotland, Northern Ireland, every account will have an email address. So it'll be your herd number at herdwatch.email. So you can actually give that to your factory as well. And if your factory email your kill sheet to Herdwatch and CC yourself on it, we'll be able to process the information off that factory sale as well. Now, the beauty of all this information coming into Herdwatch, it allows us to kind of automate your information and give you an insight as to, say, what revenue you brought in year to date. We have to look at what your highest performing animals are. So that's under your insights dashboard. Now this demo account here is not the best to be showing on because it's only a demo account, but we'll have a webinar coming up soon. Or if it is something that you're interested in talking to us about and kind of getting set up for your herd, just pop us a message there through the app and one of the guys can give you a demo and show you how to get that sorted. But look, it's a fantastic site of Herdwatch from both a management and a financial side of managing your farm. Be able to look at if you're buying a lot of cattle or if you have a lot of cattle going through your farm, you kind of want to see what's performing best for you, what breeds perform best for you. If you're buying cattle off 4 or 5 different guys, whose cattle is kind of doing better for me, you know. So it's a nice site of Herdwatch. It's great to automate that information that you have all in records in the one spot on a safe and secure spot. So look, if it is of interest in exploring that in Herdwatch, do reach out to us and we can guide you through that process. Um, I think we got through a lot of questions there. There's a couple more coming through, and just cautious of the time there as well, Kate, with the webinar system. So, just one more question there was from Mary. Mary's just wondering about the reports for audits. So, in the event of when my board B audit comes around, where do I go to get my reports?
Yeah, no bother at all, Mary. So what you'll be doing in that instance is pop into your management section here and then pop into reports. And we have a dedicated folder called Board via Audit. For anyone based in Northern Ireland, Scotland, UK, this will be Red Tractor Audit. You'll have the very same folder here. So just pop in here, and you'll have remedy usage report, remedy purchases, feed purchases, animal and herd mortality, sprays. So you can generate all those reports together as well. So just hit generate all reports. So if it's the last 18 months, you're probably looking at January 2024. Hit OK and just to today's date, and then just hit generate, and we'll email all 9 reports. They should come through almost instantly. You'll start getting them one after the other after that. Also, as well, just to mention on that note, if anybody has a red tractor or a Board BA compliance audit coming up, if you're on our complete plan, you do have access to the Board BA pre-audit check with us as well. Or red tractor, sorry, it's pre-audit check is what it's called. So what we'll do is we'll go through your, we'll generate all these reports, go through them, make sure medicines are up to date, make sure all withdrawals are up to date, go through your feeds, make sure the invoice and batch numbers are in there as well, and then do a general checklist with you to get you ready for the audit. So my recommendation would be, as soon as you get a call from your auditor, your inspector, to give you a specific date, the next call you should make is to us, and we'll get you booked in for a pre-audit with us that week as well, just to get prepped for that audit. So if you do have one coming up, Mary, just let us know.
Perfect. Thanks, Katie. What I might do is I might just share my screen for a couple of seconds, and I'm just going to show the web browser version. So 2 seconds now. So version. So if you're in the old app, you can press the 3 lines in the top left-hand corner and go to try new version. So this is a new kind of interface of Herdwatch that allows you to kind of generate your own reports and create any of the tasks. It's just a different layout. It's kind of based off, it's based off more kind of dashboards available to users kind of from the opening of the app. But you have all your different options here, your herd, your watch board, your compliance sections. Say in your herd, it kind of gives you the option that you can download your herd profile in PDF, CSV. You can filter it. So look, if you're looking to make a list of animals very quickly, so if you want to know how many animals are in your herd within a certain age group, or however many animals are calved in the last, or what's due to calve, it's kind of a nice quick dashboard to go through. But look, we'll be having a webinar just on this whole new side of Herdwatch there in the coming weeks, so keep your eyes out in your inbox on Herdwatch and make sure to register for that. It's a fantastic system, and when it comes to recording records, if you want to use your computer, I myself have been using it full time with the farm here, just using it on the computer. And look, it's very easy, and it's very efficient, no different in the app as well on the phone to use. So look, there's a webinar coming out soon on that, so make sure to join us for that. So look, what I'll do is I'll just swap over to the slides, and 2 seconds now. That's showing, Kate, is it?
Not yet, no.
2 seconds. Oh.
Yeah, that's showing there now.
Perfect. So look, as Katie went through there, look, we have loads of help articles. We have video tutorials available on our YouTube as well, and we have all the previous webinars that have been done by Herdwatch, as well on YouTube. As well as that, look, you can go to our website, and you'll find all different information on the different Herdwatch plans and all our help articles available on that as well. We also have a refer a friend scheme, so I know most of you are all new to Herdwatch, so look, don't hesitate in referring it on to any of your friends or family that are interested in getting a farm management solution in place. So by referring a friend, you can claim up to £100 or €100 off your renewal. So a few different steps to go through. So if anyone is referring it, so once they download Herdwatch, you just need to fill in the information form on our website. You'll be able to claim the £100 or €100 off your renewal. But look, if you have any questions or queries on it, just give one of the team a shout. I suppose, look, thank you from myself and Katie for joining us tonight. This started with kind of a new series that we'll be doing over the course of the next couple of months with new customers. As well as that, look, we have webinars every month on new areas of the app. This month has just been on EID. We've had them on breeding, calf registration, medicines over the course of the year every month as well. So look, keep your eyes out in your inbox and on your emails and your messaging just for webinars that are coming up if they are of interest to you. If you registered for them and you're unable to make it on the night, you'll still be able to click back through the link and rewatch it. But it'll also be available on YouTube in the coming days after the event or after the webinar. Look, from ourselves, you can also call us on 0505 34400 and 020 for UK callers. Look, we're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and full team of support there available to you at any stage as well. And even out of hours, you have options then with the help articles and YouTube tutorials. So don't hesitate to get in contact. But look, thank you very much to everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you, Katie, for joining and going through the demo as well. And look, we look forward to talking to you all on the phones if you want to give us a shout if you have any questions, and we might you might join one of the webinars to come as well. So thank you very much.